Hey guys, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I'm kind of really interested in, and I listened to a podcast called And That's Why We Drink talk about it, and it's the Winchester Mystery House. So if you guys want to hear about this house, then just continue watching. So the Winchester Mystery House is a mansion that is in San Jose, California, that was once a resident home to Sarah Winchester, which is the widow of a firearm magnate, William Wirt Winchester. It's located at 525 South Winchester Boulevard in San Jose. It's a Queen Anne style Victorian mansion. It has like a lot of cool designs to it. It's a California historical landmark, and it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's privately owned and serves as now a tourist attraction. It was built in 1884. The property and mansion were claimed by many to be haunted by the ghosts of those killed with the Winchester rifles. Under Winchester's day-to-day guidance, its from the ground up construction proceeded around the clock, by some accounts without interruption, until her death on September 5th in 1922, at which the work immediately stopped. Sarah Winchester's biographer, however, says that Winchester routinely dismissed workers for months at a time to take such rest as I might, and notes that this flies in the face of claims by today's Mystery House proprietors that work at the ranch were ceaseless for 38 years. So I kind of want to talk about the history of the house. After her husband's death of tuberculosis in 1881, Sarah Winchester inherited more than $20.5 million, which is equivalent to $543 million in 2019. She also received nearly 50% ownership of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, giving her an income of roughly $1,000 per day, which is equivalent to $26,000 per day in 2019. These inheritances gave her a tremendous amount of wealth, which she used to fund the ongoing construction of her house. After her baby daughter died of an illness, her husband died of tuberculosis. A Boston medium told her that she would leave her home in New Haven and travel west. And she was traveling west so she can continually build a home for herself and the spirits of the people who had fallen victim to the Winchester rifles. So Winchester left her home in New Haven and headed for California, and it's possible that she wanted a change for location and a hobby during her depression that she was in. Other sources say that Winchester came to believe her family and fortune were haunted by ghosts, and that only by moving west and continuously building a home could she make those spirits happy. In 1884, she purchased an unfinished farmhouse in the Santa Clara Valley and began building her mansion. Carpenters were hired and worked on the house day and night until it became a 7-story mansion. She did not use an architect and added on to the building in such a fashion where it was just humongous. So the home contains numerous things, such as doors and stairs that go nowhere, windows overlooking other rooms, and stairs with odd-sized risers. Many accounts attribute these things to believe in ghosts. Environmental psychologists have theorized that the odd layout itself contributes to the feeling of the house being haunted today. Before the 1906 earthquake, the mansion had been 7 stories high, and carpenters may have been brought in initially to repair damages caused by the earthquake. Today, it's only 4 stories. The house is made of redwood, as Miss Winchester preferred the wood. However, she didn't like the look of it. She demanded that a faux grain and stain be applied. This is why almost all the wood in the home is covered. Approximately 20,500 US gallons of paint were required to paint the house. The home itself is built using a floating foundation that's believed to have saved from total collapse of the 1906 earthquake and the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake. This type of construction allows the home to shift freely as it's not completely attached to its brick base. There are roughly 161 rooms, including 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, 47 fireplaces, and over 10,000 panes of glass, 17 chimneys, 2 basement levels, and 3 elevators. Winchester's property was about 162 acres at one time, but the estate has since been reduced to 4.5 acres. The minimum necessary to contain the house and nearby other buildings that surrounded the house. It has gold and silver chandeliers, hand inlaid floors and trim, and a vast array of colors that and materials that Winchester wanted to have in her house. This allowed, she wanted like an early like riser kind of staircase thing, and that allowed her to move about freely at the home. There was only one working toilet in Winchester's house. It had been said that all other restrooms were decoys to confuse the spirits, and that it's also the reason why she slept in a different room each night. She didn't have one bedroom to herself. She slept in a different one every night to confuse the spirits. Many of the stained glass windows in the home were created by the Pacific American Decorative Company. Some were designed specifically for her and others by her, including a spider web window that featured her favorite web design and the repetition of the number 13. This window was never installed but exists in the so-called $25,000 storage room, so named because its contents were originally the value of $25,000. The value today you can't really estimate it, but the $25,000 would be equivalent to $382,000 in 2019. A second window was designed by Tiffany herself, so that when the sunlight strikes the crystals like a rainbow cast around the room. The window was installed in an interior wall in a room with no light exposure, preventing the effect from being seen. When Winchester died, all of her possessions were given to her niece and personal secretary. Her niece then took everything she wanted and sold the rest in a private auction. It supposedly took 6 trucks, working 8 hours a day for 6 weeks, to remove all of the furniture from the home, an account disputed by Winchester's biographer. Miss Winchester's made no mention of the mansion or will, and the appraisers consider the house worthless due to the damage caused by the earthquake, the unfinished design, and the impractical nature of its construction. It was sold at auction to the local investor for over $135,000 and leased for 10 years to John and Mame Brown, who eventually purchased the house. In February 1923, 5 months after Winchester's death, the house was opened to the public, with Mame Brown serving as a first tour guide. Today, the home is owned by Winchester Investments, a privately held company representing the descendants of John and Mame Brown. The home retains unique touches that reflects Miss Winchester's beliefs and her reported preoccupation with warding off malicious spirits. These spirits are said to have directly inspired her as to the way the house should be built. The number 13 and spider webs throughout the house, which carried spiritual significance for her, occur throughout the house. In 2016, it was announced that another room with period furniture was built in the courtyard, an attic space that contains a pump organ, Victorian couch, dress forms, sewing machines, and paintings. This room was made available for viewing by the public and features a shooting range game. In 2017, the Winchester Mystery House debuted their first new daytime tour in 20 years called the Explore More Tour. This tour takes guests through rooms never before open to the public and explores the rooms left unfinished at the time of Sarah Winchester's death. So just a little fun fact, Ghost Adventures and Ghost Brothers filmed episodes in 2016 related to the house and their spiritual encounters. Another fun fact that I thought was cool, that the Winchester Mystery House was featured on the 100th episode of American Horror Story. So that is all on the Winchester Mystery House. I hope you guys like this short kind of video, story time kind of thing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to do any other history things. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.